It does not take much for us to get distracted, right? Whether it is a smartphone notification, birds singing outside, or a coworker asking if you have a minute, distractions are everywhere, and I myself was not even able to focus for more than 10 minutes at school or in front of my computer while working. But today, things have changed, and here's how I learned to make those 24 hours a day truly count. Hi, Jarod here, and today let's talk about distractions and, well, focusing. And let's dive into the 4 pillars to stay focused from the first hour to wondering what is your goal. So the first thing is to make the first hour count. And why? Because it's gonna set pretty much the rest of your day. Let me explain. Focusing is a mental state when we pay attention to a single task and ignore outside distraction. And in today's fast-paced environment, that means true focus is often an act of prioritization, because in order to concentrate on one thing, you have to ignore many other things. Or as Steve Jobs once said, focusing is about saying no. And I do one thing consistently that makes me want to get out of bed each and every single morning at 7 o'clock. And I simply put my phone away on the desk far enough so that I must wake up to stop that alarm clock. I know it seems like a tough way to wake up, right? But here are 2 reasons. First, it helps me get to bed earlier and easier. Because how many times have you been in bed for hours before being able to fall asleep completely? My bet is many times, right? And that is simply because your phone is making your brain believe that it's still daytime, because all that bright light from the screen mimics that bright sunny day. So instead of taking my phone and mindlessly scrolling the infinity, I prefer to read a book, which I found that is already way better than the phone. And secondly, it gives you a reason to wake up, right? This one is pretty straightforward, right? You have no other choice but to wake up to stop that noisy alarm clock. And trust me, it is at least worth the try. For me it was hard the first few days. I didn't want to wake up and walk those few steps to reach my phone, but I did it for more than a month now, and it's been highly beneficial. My body starts to wake up before that alarm clock kicks in, and I'm already ready to work filled with energy. And to make that first hour even more productive, I simply stay offline. I don't take my phone until at least 8 o'clock so I can fully focus on my task as much as possible. Okay, now that you know how to wake up, you're probably wondering what to do with that first hour and even the 23 hours that come next, right? And I found that time blocking is the most efficient way to make every single hour count each and every day. What does that even mean? Well, time blocking is a time management method that asks you to divide your days into blocks of time. And each block is dedicated to accomplishing a specific task or group of tasks, and only those specific tasks. Remember what Steve Jobs said about saying no? Well, that's typically the best example. It helps me go from working 40-ish hours a week to 100 hours a week now, so an increase of roughly 230%. Not bad, right? So, how to do it? Well, take a pen and a piece of paper, or open your favorite calendar app on your phone, tablet, or whatever, and ask yourself what is the most important task today. Let's say Wednesday. So I know for me it is writing a script for my YouTube channel, so from 7 to 8 o'clock I will be writing a script tomorrow morning and nothing else. Then I usually go to the gym between 8 to 10:30. I work in a restaurant from 10:30 to 5 o'clock in the afternoon. I have no other choice but to go to work, obviously. Then I have to record the 2 videos for the next week, and I use the technique called batching, where I group the same task on the same day. And this alone can save me between 30 to 40 minutes a week. Otherwise, I would have to set up the lighting, table, mic and camera for both the recording and shooting the thumbnail twice. And then I start to edit the first video I recorded until I would say 10 o'clock in the evening, and finally I read about an hour on my Kindle. So now we know how to start our day and how to create a great schedule every day. The question now is how to work efficiently every hour of our day. So here are my 3 best work management tips that are consistently helping me to stay focused the whole day. And first, I would say the Pomodoro technique. This popular time management method asks you to alternate focused work sessions with frequent short breaks to enhance your concentration and erase mental fatigue. So how to do it? I would say that there are 4 steps. Step number 1, pick a task. Could be a homework, writing a letter, or in my case writing and scripting and editing a video. Step number 2, set up a 25-minute timer. Step number 3, work on your task and only on your selected task. Nothing else. Try to remove distractions like notifications and ambient noisy sound. Step number 4, take a 5-minute break. Do whatever you want, like drinking some water, watching or reading something you can easily enjoy. And bonus step number 5, repeat the 4 last steps again. So this can give you roughly 2 hours and 30 minutes of deep work with only 30-minute breaks. Not bad, right? Secondly, I would say that we should stop multitasking and embrace monotasking. So that speaks for itself. Monotasking is simply focusing on one task at a time. I've always thought that I was good at multitasking, that I was more efficient, doing more in less time. But this is more wrong than anything else. In fact, I was just switching between multiple tasks with slowly losing focus on what truly mattered. And I personally think that lots of people around me are doing the same. So the simple answer is doing only one task fully for 1 hour, maybe 2, without any distraction. Pareto principle, also known as the 80-20 rule, is a theory that maintains that 80% of the output from a given situation or system is determined by 20% of the inputs. The principle does not stipulate that all situations will demonstrate that precise ratio. It just refers to a typical distribution. Or in other words, you have more while doing less. And it can mean all the following things. So 20% of the input creates 80% of the results, 20% of the workers produce 80% of the results, 20% of the customers create 80% of the revenue, and 20% of the bugs cause 80% of the crashes. The Pareto principle helps you realize that the majority of results come from a minority of inputs. And knowing this, if 20% of workers contributes 80% of the results, focusing on rewarding these employees. 20% of bugs contribute to 80% of crashes, well, focus on fixing these bugs first. And 20% of customers contribute 80% of the revenue, well, focus on satisfying these customers first. The examples go on. The point is to realize that you can often focus your effort on the 20% that makes a difference instead of the 80% that does not add that much value. But hold on, what is your goal? And it is by far the most important part of the video, even if I put it at the end, because no matter what you do in life, how you do it, and what tool you use, like the Pomodoro technique, the Pareto principle, or time blocking, you need a burning desire to reach your goals. What's the point of doing your homework if you don't want to? Why would you spend 6 hours a week at the gym? Why would you want to wake up every single mornings if you have no ambitions, nothing to conquer? And that's the thing. That's the question to answer. Napoleon Hill wrote his book Think and Grow Rich almost 19 years ago, and his principles are still as valid today as they were back then. I think that it is one of the best books ever written if you want to be successful in life. This is the one to read. Having a burning desire is the main principle of Think and Grow Rich, so if you get this one right, there's nothing stopping you from accomplishing whatever you want in life. And I've always been told that it is great to have goals and system in life for whatever you could think of, right? Whether it is going to the gym, doing homework, writing a book, doing chores, and so on. But you need to add another layer on top of that, the desire to reach those goals. Just ask yourself what motivates you every day to wake up. Write it down and glue it on the wall just as a reminder. Start small, yes, but start. Build a system around that goal to make your work more efficient and enjoyable, and stick to your plan in the long term. That is what I personally do for investing, the gym, and my YouTube channel, and let's see what will be the results in a year or two. So, what do you think about my best tips to stay focused? And also, would you have anything else to recommend that helps you become more productive? As always, I would be highly interested to know your point of view. Thank you so much for watching. Feel free to leave a comment down below, subscribe if you want to see more, and as always, I will see you in the next one.